So this is all very abstract. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to use an example of a game to show you how game theory works, okay? All right, so let's use a really simple game, okay? Let's imagine there are 5 boys and 5 girls, and they want to get married, okay? So these are the players, and what we're going to do is we're going to divide them up into male and female. Then what we're going to do is we will rank the males and the females. Okay, so we're going to rank 10 players into 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay? And so how do we rank them? Well, we rank them according to their attractiveness using 3 criteria. The first is genes. The second is wealth. And the third is status. Okay, so genes is very simple. It means that you're good looking. It means you're tall. It means you're healthy. You will live a long time, okay? Genes is pretty simple to understand. Wealth just means that you or your family have a lot of money. Status means that you have a lot of friends. You have a high status job. You come from a really powerful family, okay? So these are the 3 criteria that we can use to judge a person's attractiveness. And then what we can do is rank them from 5 to 1. 5 means really the best. 1 means the worst, okay? And we can rank all 10 according to these metrics. So, according to biology, what we call evolutionary biology or evolution psychology, we're always trying to find the best genes to procreate because this ensures that our genes pass on. Okay? So, remember that men have a penis which they can stick into anything. Women have to give birth, so their strategies are different, okay? So basically, number 5 is trying to have sex with all 5 women, right? That's his strategy. No, but female number 5 wants to ensure that she only gets 5. Okay? So these are different strategies. And according to evolutionary psychology, all 5 of these females should try to procreate with number 5, okay? But we know you can't do this. It's suicidal. Why is it suicidal? Because the human race couldn't survive, right? It'd be idiotic to do something like this, where all 5 women are just trying to marry this one guy, and maybe him, okay? But these 3 are eliminated. Because then your society would collapse. You couldn't have that many children. So this can't possibly be true, right? So let's figure out what should happen. Okay. All right. So let's think about this rationally, or from an economics perspective. All right. So again, number 5, he's trying to maximize the game. So he's trying to sleep with all 5 women, okay? The problem if he does that is these 5 know they're all being played. And they recognize that this guy is probably an asshole. So 5, the best woman is like, you know what? There's not much of a difference between 4 and 5, so I'll just go marry this guy, right? So number 4 is gone. And number 4 is like, you know what? 5 is probably making a good decision, so I'll just go marry number 3, right? And then what happens now is that 5, by trying to marry all the women, is stuck with the worst choice, right? So that's kind of stupid for him. He's stuck with number 1. But guess what? If any of these guys try this crap, the same thing happens to him, where 4 is like, you know what, I can't get 5, but I'll try to get 4 and 3 together. And then 3 is like, screw you, I'm gonna go and marry 2, 4 is gonna marry 3, okay? Then he's stuck with 1 as well. Or he's just alone. So if they try to individually maximize their outcome, they all get screwed in the end. So the only way out of this is that they cooperate, okay? And the best way to cooperate is basically 5 is like, you know what, screw this, I'm not gonna go after 4 or 3, I'll just have number 5, okay? Right? 4 is like, yeah, I'll just go marry 4. No dating, no games, I'll just go marry 4. And 3 marries 3, 2 marries 2, and 1 marries 1, okay? And the world now is perfect. Everyone has a husband and a wife, and they can now just have children, and the world is perfect. And this is actually the best strategy for all the players, right? We call this, the word in game theory we use for this is called the Nash equilibrium. Okay, Nash equilibrium just means that you always reach a state in which all the players maximize their outcome, the Nash equilibrium. And so the world makes sense now. There's a problem with this though. And the problem is, in real life, no one does this, okay? In real life, no one actually follows this rule. Nash equilibrium is just a theory we made up. But in real life, that's just not what happens. What happens in real life is we choose to be suicidal, okay? So, let me tell you about a game I played. So last year, I was teaching this class, and I asked the boys and I asked the girls, pretend you're now 30 years old, right? Your parents are pestering you to get married, and you've been on the dating market for 10 years. There's really no one that you think is perfect for you. You've basically given up on love. Imagine that you want to get married now, and tell me what is the minimum requirement you need in order to agree to marry someone else. Okay? What's the minimum, okay? And then I have the boys and the girls write down a response. The boys were pretty simple, right? Well, you know, as long as she likes me and as long as I can put my penis into her, I'm good, okay? It's that simple, okay? It really is. Guys are like, yeah, I'll settle for anything. That's the boys, right? Girls were different. Girls were like, okay, if I don't love him, if I'm not even attracted to him, I need about $1 million a month.
Really? Oh my god.
Yep, I need about $1 million.
Last class.
Last semester. Okay, all right, so this makes no sense, right? So in theory, we should follow the Nash equilibrium. But in real life, what happens is this. All the girls want this one guy. Okay, and maybe number 4. They'll settle for number 4. But 3, 2, 1, they don't want. And we know because just look at the world around you. Look at these billionaires, right? Like Elon Musk. How many wives does he have? How many children does he have? Right? All the women in the world, many, not all, but many, just want to marry actors like Brad Pitt, billionaires like Elon Musk, right? And 3, 2, and 1, what do? Well, they watch Netflix, they watch porn, they play video games. They've given up on life, okay? They're like, we don't care. We call these people incels, right? Involuntary celibates, because basically they've given up on life and life has given up on them. So this entire competition is between number 5 and 4 for all the women in the world. And this is again suicidal. This will lead to the death of humanity. And the question now is, Okay, why are we suicidal? And so let's look at game theory analysis, right? The players, the rules, and incentives. We know what the players are. The players are doing stupid things. The rules we know, okay? But the incentives is something that we have to think about. Why are they behaving like this? And the answer is because they're not interested in sex or procreation. What they're interested in is status. Okay, that's the game they're playing, status. I don't want to marry someone to have children. I want to marry someone so I can take a picture of her and post it on Instagram so I can get a lot of likes. I want to marry someone so I can walk with her in the mall and all the guys are jealous. I want to marry someone who I can brag about. Okay? It's a game about status, not a game about sex or procreation. Do you understand? People are not being rational here. People are trying to maximize their status in life. And that's why everyone's behaving like this. She may be the youngest woman in the world, but she's still like, you know what? It's still my choice whether or not to have kids. And having kids is a pain in the ass. So if I'm going to make the sacrifice, this guy better be good looking. Okay? Or this guy better be rich. Otherwise, why would I want to have kids? Okay? So this is why people behave the way they do. If you think about this way, what you recognize is that people are rational. But to understand why they're rational, you have to figure out what the game is. Okay? But then this leads to us to a question, which is, okay,